Pura Federation holds a crucial consultative meet with tribal apex bodies, CSOs and Gaupuras on Naga political issue. 4-point resolution adopted in meet. And the Union Minister of State for Minority Affairs raps Meghalaya government for poor implementation of centrally sponsored schemes for religious minorities, says people losing out due to lack of awareness. Hello and welcome to Evening Prime. I am Pooja and we start the bulletin with a big story from Manipur. A massive protest erupted in the state capital Imphal this afternoon over the ongoing fencing work along the Myanmar border. Members and supporters of the United Committee Manipur or UCM took to the streets, gathering in front of the Kangla Gate in Imphal. Soon, scuffle broke out between the protesters and police after the demonstrators were stopped from proceeding further. Eventually, police took control of the situation. It may be mentioned here that UCM is alleging that Manipur will cede large portion of land to Myanmar under the current arrangement for fencing of the international border. The protesters also chanted slogans demanding both the centre and the state government to stop ongoing fencing work that they said is being done at the cost of Manipur's land. Well, the UCM also demanded Union Minister of State for External Affairs Dr. R.K. Ranjan and Chief Minister N. Biren Singh's intervention into the matter. UCM President Joy Chandra Konthojam alleged that the centre is giving away Manipur land to Myanmar, expressing concerns that a large portion of Manipur will be ceded to Myanmar by the time Border Road Task Force completes the ongoing fencing work. He demanded prompt action from Manipur government. All right, so big development coming in from the state of Manipur. There was a massive protest erupted in state capital Imphal this afternoon over the ongoing fencing work along the Myanmar border. Well, members and supporters of United Committee Manipur or UCM took to the streets, gathering in front of the Kangla Gate in Imphal. Well, soon scuffle broke out between the protesters and police after the demonstrators were stopped from proceeding further. Eventually, police took control of the situation. It may be mentioned here that a UCM is alleging that Manipur will cede large portion of land to Myanmar under the current arrangement for fencing of the international border. The protesters also chanted slogans demanding both the centre and the state government to stop ongoing fencing work that they said is being done at the cost of Manipur's land. The UCM also demanded Union Minister of State for External Affairs Dr. R.K. Ranjan and Chief Minister N. Biren Singh's intervention into the matter. UCM President Joy Chandra Konthojam alleged that the centre is giving away Manipur land to Myanmar and expressing concerns that a large portion of Manipur will be ceded to Myanmar by the time Border Road Task Force completes the ongoing fencing work. He demanded prompt action from Manipur government.
Today, United Committee Manipur USM and its mandate organizations of the Manipur people, we protest today against the disputed area fencings, whether security fencing or border fencings along the Indo-Myanmar border area from pillar number 79 to 102 area which was visited by the team of the United Committee Manipur. We, United Committee Manipur and the Manipur peoples, appeal to the Manipur government and please give us and please inform to us the clarifications of the disputed area of the our Manipur boundary along the Indo-Myanmar border. And then we, the United Committee Manipur or the people of the Manipur want to know the declarations of the disputed area.
All right, our Imphal correspondent Sharat Chandra joins us over the phone line to give us the latest on this development. Well, Sharat, dramatic visuals are there, protest over fencing along the Myanmar border. So, are more protests planned in the days to come?
Yeah, Pooja, you see, after a very long intervention today, again, we can witness a very strong protest from the side of United Committee Manipur, that also on this border dispute in between the India and Myanmar on the Manipur land. And you see today, the United Committee Manipur, last members of this United Committee Manipur, they protest at the historic Kangla Fort on the western side, on the western gate. And yes, you also rightly mentioned that a scuffle broke out in between the protester and the police. And now this time, United Committee Manipur, you see, Pooja, this is not the first time that the United Committee Manipur always vocal on the border dispute. And this time, very recently, the United Committee Manipur representative also paid a visit to the border side where the fencing is on. And they also hinted out that from border pillar number 79 to 102, is under dispute, and in case of fencing is going on, then Manipur also this time again going to lose large number of area. Today, United Committee Manipur member they also mentioned on the Manipur have already given out this Kapo Valley during the time of the Jawaharlal Nehru as the Prime Minister of the country. So this time Manipur is not ready to lose any more land while the fencing is on. And the United Committee Manipur this time demand is very clear that until and unless the border dispute is resolved, then the fencing should be stopped. And today they raised the matter to the Chief Minister also. Also, you have rightly mentioned that R.K. Ranjan, who is the Minister of State Action and here. And I think Manipur alone cannot resolve this border dispute because this dispute is between the two countries, that is India and Myanmar.
Okay.
No doubt Manipur is losing land, but yes, state also need to have a talk with the center so that center intervention can come at the earliest and the border dispute resolved at the earliest. Pooja.
Now, Sharat, where the groups and general public are not taken into confidence before going ahead with the fencing work?
You see, United Committee Manipur, I already mentioned that this is not the first time that the United Committee Manipur is raising the border issue in between the India and Myanmar while the fencing is on. And you see, today, all of a sudden, we have witnessed this strong protest from the United Committee Manipur side that also at the heart of the city. I think in the days to come, I think public support also we can see public people are supporting extending support to the United Committee Manipur, and there's a large number of United Committee Manipur also appeal to the like-minded civil society organization to join the join the United Committee Manipur raising this border dispute issue. And today they appeal the Chief Minister and Biren Singh also Kiranjan Singh with the Minister of State Action and Affairs to intervene into the matter so that it can be resolved at the earliest. I think now I think time has come again for the state government that they can put these issues to the center so that it can be resolved. Otherwise, state cannot alone resolve this border dispute because it is in between the two countries, that is India and Myanmar. Pooja.
All right. Thank you, Sharat, for giving us those details. Shifting focus to Tripura now, well, campaigning for the by-elections to 4 assembly seats in the state ended today, with parties and candidates making a last-ditch effort to woo the voters. From Chief Minister Manik Saha to Congress and CPIM candidates, all were seen engaged in door-to-door campaign and roadshows as campaigning came to a close today. Around 22 candidates are in fray for the by-polls to the four assembly constituencies of Agartala Town, Bardowali, Surma and Juba Rajnagar. Well, the by-polls will decide the fate of Chief Minister Manik Saha, who is making his assembly election debut. Well, Saha is contesting from the town Bodwali seat against former party colleague and MLA Ashish Kumar Saha. Well, the by-election is also being seen as a do-or-die battle for former minister and Congress leader Sudeep Roy Burman, who has been in the news, especially since Sunday, following an attack on him. Well, the CPIM and the Trinamool Congress would also look to make a mark as close to 2 lakh voters exercise their franchise in June 23rd by polls. Meanwhile, elaborate security arrangements are being put in place amid opposition's apprehensions of violence during polling. 12 companies of CAPF has been deployed for the polls, even as Section 144 has been imposed in the assembly constituency areas till the morning of June 24th. BSF and CRPF personnel will man the polling stations. The election officials informed while urging the public to come out in large numbers to exercise their franchise. All right, our assistant news editor Pinaki Das joins us live from Agartala to give us the latest on the poll preparations. Well, Pinaki, how are the security arrangements for the polls? Can we expect a totally violence-free by poll?
See, this no one can say, but there are efforts from the election commission that it is a free and fair without any violence. But the arrangement they have claimed is enormous, means in the sense a huge arrangement, in the sense that not only adequate, they had more force than the adequate. They are claiming the SP, Mr. Reddy of West Tripura, he has claimed that is more than adequate, and all will be central paramilitary force, including BSF and CRPF, so that such allegation does not come that the state police force have been used and they were biased. No, they have not taken any chance. The entire thing will be under CCTV camera surveillance. At the same time, live webcasting will be there. The domination of the area has already started, and search for people getting together since 144 has been imposed, section 144. So searches are also going on in hotels and places where more number of people can stay, so that they cannot create any chaos during the real polling day. So those type of initiatives are taken. Checkpoints are being created, nakas are being created, and since in Agartala only two, they said it is more than little around 12 square kilometer in area in which the election. So it's also a huge challenge for the election commission, keeping in view the earlier election, in particularly the last civic poll in which
Right.
there are allegations of mass rigging, and so those are the steps. And but at the same time, you have to remember that recently there was an untoward incident in one of the candidate was hit in his face. So that again created a terror message which goes to the voters. Are they safe? So the election commission is also taking into all steps and giving the confidence that it will be free and fair poll under central paramilitary force, and are approaching the media and other through everything. They are trying to give the message to the voters: come out and cast your vote. We are there. And they have also said we are providing some numbers. If someone feel any type of insecure threat, they should immediately contact them, and the police and special groups are going to be there, who will move to the voters or the opposition parties or whoever complain, and reach there within 5 to 7 minutes. Everyone will be there. They are ensuring that they will be able to keep this election
All
totally
right.
peaceful, violent free, and we
All
have to
right.
wait for that on 23rd.
Right. Now, Pinaki, a lot is at stake for both BJP and Congress and also the CPIM and TMC. So, amid this, can we expect a large turnout?
See, Tripura has a history where the turnout was more than 90%. But if you see into the previous two elections, the turnout was not that great. It has gone down, and there has been a report of violence and booth capturing, and even video evidence. Those became viral in social media. But this election, now we have to wait and see how the voters' confidence come out, and how the voters feel safe. If they feel safe, they obviously, Tripura has a history where it is said, all political parties claim that people are politically very aware, and they know this is their right to vote, and that is how to keep that democracy alive. So we are expecting that people will turn out,
Okay.
but we have to wait for that. We have to wait for that and see how the people get the confidence, and what are the measures actually
All
now.
right.
This from today, it is very crucial what message the voters get, but
Right.
hopefully they
Right.
will turn
Right.
out.
Thank you, Pinaki, for giving us those details at this point in time.
Thank you.
And meanwhile, the major political war over Sunday night's attack on veteran Tripura Congress leader Sudeep Roy Burman continues to rage on. Sudeep Roy Burman, who was injured during the incident of late-night poll violence, has termed the attack as an attempt on his life. Talking to Northeast Live shortly after being released from the hospital, Roy Burman said that the attackers tried to kill him. And while the BJP is terming the entire incident as drama, Roy Burman questioned whether his injuries were fake.
এগুলো কি সব মিথ্যা আমি যে মার খেয়েছি মিথ্যা, এটা নাটক। আমি কি এগুলো পেন্ট করে এসেছি আমার চেহারায়? আমার দাঁত পুরো দুটো দাঁত উবড়ে ফেলেছে, এখানে দুটো দাঁত উবড়ে ফেলেছে, এগুলো মিথ্যা? আমাকে খুন করার জন্য জিতবে না, ঘর বন্দি করে রাখলেও জিতবে না, আমি ময়দানে না থাকলেও জিতবে না, ঘরে শুয়ে থাকলেও ওরা জিতবে না। আমাকে খুন করে কাউন্টার মান করার চেষ্টা করা হয়েছে।
On the other hand, the BJP is firm on its stand that the entire incident related to the attack on Congress leader Sudeep Roy Burman was a carefully scripted drama to gain sympathy. Minister Sushant Chaudhary, who has been at the receiving end of Congress allegations for being present at the spot at the time of the incident, today released CCTV footage to back his claim that Sudeep Roy Burman was not attacked.
কংগ্রেস দলের তরফ থেকে যে ধরনের উৎসাহ ওঠানো হচ্ছে, আমি এই ফুটেজগুলো দিয়ে সাংবাদিক বন্ধুদের কাছে অ্যাপিল করব যে আপনারা সত্যটাকে উদ্ঘাটন করবেন এবং রাজ্যবাসীকে সেখানে সঠিক দিশা প্রদান করবেন। ফুটেজ নাম্বার 1, সময় হচ্ছে রাত্র 11:14। আপনারা দেখতে পারবেন কংগ্রেসের কিছু ছেলে পেলে একত্রিত হয়েছে। 6 আগরতলা কেন্দ্রে কংগ্রেসের প্রার্থী সুদীপ বাবু গাড়ি থেকে নামলেন, এসে লাল টি শার্ট পরে, মেরুন কালারের সঙ্গে জিন্স পরে আপনারা দেখতে পাচ্ছেন। রাত্র তখন 11:14, গাড়িটা চলে গেছে। উনি ছেলেগুলোর সঙ্গে কথা বলছেন, দাঁড়িয়ে কথা বলছেন, লাঠি সোটা হাতে কংগ্রেসের ছেলেরা এসছে। সেখানে একটা প্ল্যানিং হয়েছে, দুদিকে দুটো দলকে উনি ভাগ করে দিলেন। নেক্সট ফুটেজে যান। এটা হচ্ছে 11:14। কংগ্রেস দলের কিছু ছেলেরা আপনারা দেখতে পাচ্ছেন, 8-10 খানা ছেলে হাতে গোনা লাঠি নিয়ে সামনের দিকে এগিয়ে আসছে। আমি যেটা বলেছিলাম, আমরা যে অলোক গোস্বামীর বাড়িতে তারা জমায়েত হয়েছিল, সেই অলোক গোস্বামীর বাড়ির গেট থেকে তারা বেরিয়ে রাস্তা দিয়ে আসছে। এখনই আপনারা দেখতে পাবেন সুদীপ বাবু আসবেন। ওই দেখুন ফ্ল্যাগ তুলছে, বিজেপির ফ্ল্যাগ। এখনই দেখবেন কংগ্রেস দলের প্রার্থী সুদীপ বাবু আরেকটা গ্রুপ নিয়ে বর্তমানে আসবেন। তারা ফ্ল্যাগ ফেলছে রাত্রিবেলা। পরেরটা নাও। এ দেখুন সুদীপ বাবু এগিয়ে যাচ্ছে, ওই ছেলেরা দাঁড়িয়ে আছে রাস্তার পাশে, ওনার সঙ্গে যোগ দিলেন। লাঠি সোটা হাতে, কংগ্রেসের পতাকা হাতে সুদীপ বাবু এগিয়ে যাচ্ছেন ছেলেদেরকে নিয়ে, 15-20-25 খানা ছেলেকে নিয়ে সামনের দিকে এগিয়ে যাচ্ছেন আমাদের মন্ডল সভাপতির বাড়ির দিকে, যেটা আমরা আগে দাবি করেছিলাম। নেক্সট স্লাইড। সুস্থ অবস্থায় উনি এলেন, কংগ্রেসের ছেলেরা এলো। সময় 12টা। কংগ্রেসের ছেলেরা সবাই বহিরাগত, স্থানীয় কেউ নয়। এই সুদীপ বাবুর গাড়ি, উনি গাড়ি করে বেরিয়ে গেলেন। আর অন্য গাড়িও ছিল। এখন আমাদের প্রশ্ন, টাইম টু টাইম কোন টাইমে কি ঘটনা ঘটেছে স্লাইডে এগুলো ধরা আছে। উনি নিজে লাঠিসোঁটা নিয়ে এগিয়ে গেলেন যে ওনার উপর আক্রমণ হয়েছে। উনি গাড়ি থেকে এসে নামলেন, রাত্র বাজে 11:14। আমি যদি জিজ্ঞাসা করি কালকে যেটা আমি বলেছিলাম যে রাত্র 11:30 সোয়া 11টার সময় অভয়নগর শুনশান রাস্তা, ওনার কি কাজ ছিল?
And now let's listen in to what the Agartala West SP has to say on Sunday night's incident.
इसमें अरेस्ट अभी तक किसी को नहीं किया है। जहां तक जो एफआईआर लॉन्च किया गया है उसमें एज पर डिफरेंट सेक्शन हम लोग, एक तो सुमोटो कंप्लेंट हम लोग लिया है जिसमें अरेस्टेबल सेक्शन नहीं है, तो एज पर लॉ हम लोग कार्रवाई किया। इसमें कुछ लोग आइडेंटिफाई किया गया, नोटिस विल बी सर्व। और दूसरा पार्टी ने कंप्लेंट दिया है जिसमें एलिगेशन दिया है कि वहां पे बम फेंका था इस सब का, तो उसमें भी वेरीफाई किया गया है। वैसा बम का उसका कोई वहां पे नजर नहीं है, तो उसमें देयर इज नो एविडेंस फॉर दैट। तो जो लोगों को आइडेंटिफाई किया गया है उसको नोटिस आर बीइंग सर्व्ड। When the people were arguing, or when the two parties came face to face, there were 4 to 5 people, and number one, then the BSF people were called in, which you have rightly mentioned. But the thing is that there was no scuffling, there was no physical contact with anybody. It's not like people were beating up each other and then the police could not. Some miscreant from the behind, from the dark, he has thrown a stone. It is a brick which has actually hit the, unfortunately, the contesting candidate from 6th Agartala. So that is the actual reason. So I disagree that police were there and then they were attacked. No, it was not like people were scuffling with each other and then trying to do that. But I think you would appreciate it better after that. Once that has been done, there was not even a single incident or any injury whatsoever to any of that.
Shifting focus now, Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma is in no mood to relent as far as dealing with the prevailing flood crisis is concerned. Chief Minister Sharma is on ground zero to take stock of the situation, particularly in Kamrup and Nolbari districts. Chief Minister Sharma, talking to news persons, said that the government is leaving no stone unturned to ensure that the flood-affected people have access to proper relief and rehabilitation without any hassle.
মনসা মন্দিৰৰ ৰাস্তা গতিকে একবাৰ সেইটো বনাব লাগে। দেহাৰকুছি পূজা মন্দিৰত আহি ৰাইজক লগ পালো। ৰাইজে কৈছে যে ৰিলিফ আদি পাইছে, কিন্তু গাঁৱৰ আন কিছুমান সমস্যা আছে আৰু মই বাকী কেইটাৰ ৰিলিফ কেম্পতো যাম আৰু মানুহক যিমান দেৰিলৈকে প্ৰয়োজন আমি সিমান দিনলৈকে সহায় কৰি থাকিম। মই এইটোৱে কৈছো যে শিশুৰ খাদ্যই হওক বা মানুহক ৰিলিফ দিয়াই হওক, কোনো ক্ষেত্ৰতে কৃপণালী কৰিব নালাগে। নন এফেক্টেড মানুহৰ কথা মই নকওঁ, এফেক্টেড মানুহসকলক সম্পূৰ্ণ যাতে সহায় কৰা হয়। য'ত আমি ৰিলিফটো পাইছো সেইটো পোৱা বুলি ক'লে বাকী মানুহৰ মনটো ভাল লাগিব, আৰু য'ত পোৱা নাই তাত আমি পোৱা নাই বুলি ক'ব লাগিব। গতিকে আপুনি নলবাৰীত যিটো মোৰ ধাৰণা হৈছে, ৰাইজক মই সুধিছো, ৰাইজে কৈছে ৰিলিফত কমপ্লেইন নাই, কিন্তু এওঁলোকৰ আন সমস্যা আছে, চুইচ গেটৰ সমস্যা, ৰাস্তা ঘাটৰ সমস্যা। গতিকে আপোনালোকেও জনাই থাকিব ক'ৰবাত যদি কোনোবাই ৰিলিফ নাপায়। যিসকলৰ পাৰ্চিয়েলি ঘৰ ডেমেজ হৈছে, যিসকলৰ ফুল্লি ঘৰ ডেমেজ হৈছে, আমি সকলোকে সহায় কৰিছোঁ। খালি দুদিন পিছতে ডিচিয়েও ইনকুৱাৰী কৰিব, আমিও এটা পৰ্টেল বনাম, তেওঁলোকে নিজৰ ফটো যাতে নিজে আপলোড কৰি দিব পাৰে যে মোৰ ঘৰ ভাঙিছিল বুলি। আমি একদম ধুনীয়াকৈ ৰাইজক সহায় কৰিম। ঘৰৰ লিষ্ট বনাইছে সব
All right, viewers, these are the live visuals on your screen from Changsari. As you can see, the man on mission, Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma, visiting one of the relief camps. Take a look.
তোর মোবাইল কোনে দিলে আইটা তোর আইটা এটা ব্যাগ বাজার পাইছি ঘটনা মারি বলিবা কোন তোর আইটা কোন আইটা তো এই তুই কি মোবাইল না কত মারি মোবাইল কথা আইছে কত মারি বলি কইছে কিমান পানি হচ্ছে তো বহুত পানি হচ্ছে কিমান হচ্ছে আমরা এখানে আমার বাইরে একটু একদিনের কি কথা ঘর পানি কমাইছে কত বস্তু দাম যাব এটা সপোর্ট লিস্ট কৰি ডাটাখিনি ইয়াৰ লগত দি কাৰ কি ক্ষতি হৈছে এটা ৰিমাৰ্ক কলমত ভাল কৰি সাৰ্ভে কৰি লগত আছে মোৰ বন্ধুখিনি ইয়াতো খোৱা বোৱা পাই আছে কোনো অসুবিধা নাই হ'ব স্যার বাবা হাত মারা দিয়া কি করা আশা করি যেটা মানে এবার বাবা না কথা এবার হতো না ঠিক আছে বড়িয়া আপোনালোকৰ কলেজত গুচি যাব তাতে ৰুমবোৰ ভাল নাম লব
With that, we take a short break. Stay tuned for more news.
Northeast Live, the most viewed news channel in the region. On YouTube, unmatched coverage.
Oh, wow.
অভূতপূর্ব ভ্যারাইটি অপূর্ব মূল্য ডাউনলোড মিশো
সুগন্ধ ৰং আৰু সোৱাদ খাতি এভৰিডে জিভাত দিয়ে আচল জুতি এভৰিডে স্পাইচেছ 100% টেষ্ট এভৰিডে স্পাইচেছ বেষ্ট
মই ব্যৱহাৰ কৰো আটাইতকৈ সবল আৰু সতেজ চিমেণ্ট সূৰ্যা চিমেণ্ট অটুট ঘৰ অটুট অসম
Northeast Live, the most viewed news channel in the region. On YouTube, unmatched coverage.
A university is much more than just a place to get your education. It not only helps you build your career, but also your personality and mindset. At Assam Royal Global University, you will get the most suitable environment to gain knowledge and also grow as a person. The university has the best infrastructure with all the required facilities and best quality equipment for any kind of educational need.
মই ব্যৱহাৰ কৰো আটাইতকৈ সবল আৰু সতেজ চিমেণ্ট সূৰ্যা চিমেণ্ট অটুট ঘৰ অটুট অসম
Welcome back and staying with the flood update. So, well, amid the deteriorating flood situation in Silchar, a 54-member NDRF team landed in Barak Valley this afternoon to join the relief and rescue operations. The situation is grim in Silchar town with almost all roads and localities submerged. Stranded people are being rescued from several locations with SDRF and other rescue teams working round the clock to reach out to all those affected by the deluge.
हमें कल लगभग 1 बजे के आसपास पता चला कि हमारी जो 4 टीमें हैं भुवनेश्वर की, एनडीआरएफ की 4 टीमों को असम आना है। तो कल ही सारा कोऑर्डिनेशन हो गया था और आज अर्ली मॉर्निंग 9 o'clock हमारा एयरफोर्स की तरफ से स्पेशल फ्लाइट मिल गया। टोटल हमारी 4 टीमें हैं और 4 टीमों के साथ जितने फ्लड रिलेटेड इक्विपमेंट है सब साथ में है। तो अभी जो फर्स्ट एक बार जो राउंड लगा है फ्लाइट का, उसमें 2 टीमें हैं।
Meanwhile, SDRF and NDRF men are engaged in rescue operations within Silchar town, where people are stuck in their houses in several localities. Alright, so on your screens are the visuals where you can see how SDRF and NDRF are taking efforts to rescue all the residents who are stuck in their houses in several localities, and this is what is the condition in the heart of Silchar town. So relentless rescue and search operations are going on in Barak Valley. NDRF teams which landed in a Silchar town this afternoon is engaged in rescue operations within Silchar town, where people are stuck in their houses in several localities.
আমি ওই পদ্মনগর মন্দির দিকে বিলপার আজকে 2 দিন থেকে আমরা আর কোনো খাওয়ার জল নাই, খাওয়ার লাগি আমরা কোনো জল পাইতেছি না, কোনো সাপ্লাই তো ডুবিয়েই গেছে, সাপ্লাই তো নাই। তো আমরা বিসলারের বোতল লইয়া যে কোনো জায়গা থেকে জল আনতাম, এই সুবিধাটুকু নাই। প্রশাসনের তরফ থেকে কোনো জল নাই, কোনো কেউ দেখাও করছে না, একটা বোর্ড পর্যন্ত আমরা পাইয়ার না। 2 দিনে কষ্ট করিয়া আপনারা রিকোয়েস্ট করিয়া এই মাত্র বোর্ড পাইছি। তো এইসব নিয়ে যদি প্রশাসন চিন্তা না করে তাহলে কেমনে চলবো না ডিসিওয়াই।
The flood situation in Silchar is critical to say the least. Almost all parts of the town are submerged, and there is no sign of the water receding any soon. Locals have termed the situation as the worst witnessed since 1985. As all major localities remain submerged, relief and rescue workers are struggling to reach out to affected people. While a team of 54 NDRF team has arrived this afternoon, the task is clearly cut out for the rescue workers given the magnitude of the crisis. Well, such is the situation that even crematoriums have been rendered out of bounds.
प्रशासन ने फ्लड कंट्रोल का प्रॉपर स्टेप उन्होंने नहीं लिया। अगर फ्लड कंट्रोल का प्रॉपर स्टेप लेता आज ये दुर्गति देखने को नहीं मिलता। अब जब ये कट गया था तो उसके बीच में इन्होंने थोड़ा टाइम मिला था उसको रिपेयर करने के लिए, लेकिन उन्होंने रिपेयर नहीं किया, जिसके कारण आज ये हो रहा है।
क्या लोगों को जब ये बांध तोड़ दिया गया या टूट गया बांध, तब क्या प्रशासन ने लोगों को आप लोगों को सूचित की थी कि आप लोग इवैक्यूएट कर ले या कोई भी ऐसी व्यवस्था हुई थी?
नहीं, ऐसे तो हमारा डीसी महोदय की तरफ से पहले बताए थे, उन्होंने अच्छा स्टेप लिया था बोले थे, लेकिन ये कुछ लोगों ने ये बांध काट दिया।
कौन जिम्मेदार है शहर वासियों को इस दुविधा में डालने के लिए?
दुविधा में डालने के लिए जिम्मेवार मैं किसी को नहीं दूंगा अभी फिलहाल, क्योंकि ये ऊपर वाला का मेहरबानी है कि हम लोग को इतना पानी दिया, बरसात इतना हुआ, लेकिन कुछ चीज है जैसे आज बहुत ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम है, करंट का प्रॉब्लम है, ट्रांसफार्मर बहुत उठाना चाहिए जो अभी बहुत नीचा है, वाटर लेवल से बहुत नीचा गिर गया, वो बहुत प्रॉब्लम है।
लेकिन आपको लगता नहीं जब ये बांध ये लोगों ने नोटिफिकेशन दी कि कुछ मिसक्रिएंट्स ने डैमेज किया है, तो ये प्रशासन की क्या
करना चाहिए था, बहुत जल्दी करना चाहिए था। ऊपर इतना नहीं जानता हूँ इसलिए दोष में किसी को नहीं देता हूँ, क्योंकि ऊपर कभी कभी देखा कि उन लोग भी कर रहा है।
You can see the operation to rescue the people is on. The situation is vulnerable. It has never been seen before. Each and every point, the way to the medical college, the way to the cremation ground, which is the only cremation ground of Silchar, it's underwater. It is a very critical time. It's a matter of challenge for both the government and the district administration. Government is trying its hard to save each and every people, but you can see the condition. Each and every residential and commercial area is underwater. Everyone is trying to get saved. Many missionaries are trying to save the people, rescue the people to a safest place. The level is not getting down. It is still 21.57. It's still in the rise, and you can see the people are trying to somehow move from the stuck area from their home to that place which is safe for them. You're watching Northeast Live with camera person Nirmal Malakar. I'm Vikram Sarkar from Silchar.
On the other hand, the situation is also grim in Meghalaya's West Garo Hills and South Garo Hills districts, where floods caused huge loss to property. And among the worst affected places are Dalu, Gambagri, and Pura Khasia. On the other hand, in South Garo Hills district, Siju, Rongara, Maheshokla and Kalhu have been badly affected by the deluge. It needs to be mentioned here that Kalhu and Maheshokla have been cut off from the rest of the region. Road infrastructure has been badly hit with strategic bridges being washed away in several areas. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Conrad Sangma today visited the flood-hit areas in both the districts and assured of all possible help from the government at this hour of crisis.
We are in Dalu area today, and again, because of heavy rains, there has been a lot of damage. But here, mostly the damage has been to the roads and infrastructure. As you can see, bridges like these have been washed out, and now there's a disconnectivity between villages, and so we have a huge challenge now to bring that back. So we have just come here with the Honorable MLA and other officials from PWD and other departments and the Deputy Commissioner and officials to see the situation, monitor it, and to immediately rectify it so that we can bring back the entire life to normalcy out here. So we will do what we can, and we have urged PWD to take immediate action so that the bridge can be restored at the earliest, so that people can have the necessary connectivity in this particular route.
Meanwhile, relief is being airdropped in parts of Garo Hills amid the critical flood and landslide situation. All right, so as the situation is not good in Meghalaya as well, we could see that relief is being airdropped in parts of Garo Hills amid the critical flood and landslide situation, where locals are there to take all the relief materials being dropped by the authorities. All right, shifting focus to some other stories now. Well, the Nagaland Gaur Federation has taken a big decision pertaining to the Naga political issue. In a crucial meeting with different apex bodies representing the Nagas, all the stakeholders resolved to constitute an action committee under the nomenclature of Nagaland People's Action Committee to carry out the voice of the people till a desired result is arrived at. The Nagaland People's Action Committee will be headed by Theja Theri as convener, while Sikhutu Zalipu will be the co-convener. Besides the Gaur Federation and the tribal apex bodies, CSOs, Gaburas and various other organizations unanimously resolved to press upon the Government of India and the NSC and IM, as well as the NNPGs, to conclude the negotiations on the basis of agreed points finalized on December 31st, 2019. Besides, the stakeholders of today's meeting held in Dimapur also resolved to carry out demonstrations in a democratic manner in the days to come if things does not proceed in the desired manner. So, big development at this point in time from the state of Nagaland, viewers. The Nagaland Gaur Federation has taken a big decision pertaining to the Naga political issue. In a crucial meeting with different apex bodies representing the Nagas, all the stakeholders resolved to constitute an action committee under the nomenclature of Nagaland People's Action Committee to carry out the voice of the people till a desired result is arrived at. The Nagaland People's Action Committee will be headed by Theja Theri as convener, while Shikhitu Zalipu will be the co-convener. Besides the Gaur Federation and the tribal apex bodies, CSOs, Gaburas, and various other organizations unanimously resolved to press upon the government of India and the NSCN-IM as well as the NNPGs to conclude the negotiations on the basis of agreed points finalized on December 31st, 2019. Besides, the stakeholders of today's meeting held in Dimapur also resolved to carry out demonstrations in a democratic manner in the days to come if things does not proceed in the desired manner.
Sole purpose of the meeting was to decide collectively what we can practically contribute for the cause of a long-standing Naga political issue and also to reassess what is left of our future politics. After thorough deliberation, unanimously passed the following resolution. 1. The House unanimously resolved to press upon the Government of India and the two Naga negotiating groups to conclude the ongoing negotiation on the basis of the understanding that has reached in between the Government of India and the Naga negotiators on the 31st October 2019. Resolved to constitute an action committee under the nomenclature of Nagaland People's Action Committee, NPAC, to carry out the voice of the people till we get the desired result. The House also resolved to ask the apex tribal host to officially delegate one representative each to be a member of the committee. The following members shall lead the committee: Convener Mr. Teza Tere, Co-Convener Mr. Shikto Zalipu. 3. Co-Convener Mr. Kekung Chim Yimchimur. Another co-convener Mr. Timsumumba Awo. Secretary Mr. Kando Mule. Finance Secretary Mr. Dr. Seyabile Moore. Representative from Naga Council, Dimapur. Resolution number 3. The House further resolved to stage a public relay and other follow-up actions. The Nagas of Nagaland shall stand as one entity, and we shall collectively react to any discriminative action meted out to any individual or community by any element in self-defense. Dr. What? Today's outcome of the meeting that I convey this to the council.
All right, shifting focus now. Centrally sponsored schemes are not implemented well in Meghalaya. Yes, viewers, you have heard this right. This is what Union Minister of State for Minority Affairs, John Barla, said today, which indeed is a big revelation as far as centre's push for effective governance is concerned. In fact, the Union Minister, in a strong message, has asked the Conrad Sangma government to take serious cognizance of the issue and take steps accordingly. Well, speaking in details, the Union Minister said that the religious minorities of the state are unaware about the central schemes specifically meant for them. So the centrally sponsored schemes are not implemented well in Meghalaya, and this is what a Union Minister of State for Minority Affairs, John Barla, said today, which indeed is a big revelation as far as centre's push for effective governance is concerned. In fact, the Union Minister, in a strong message, has asked the Conrad Sangma government to take serious cognizance of the issue and take steps accordingly. Speaking in details, the Union Minister said that the religious minorities of the state are unaware about the central schemes specifically meant for them.
Today, I came to know many schemes are not implemented here. That's why I request to government to let us, if you want, public has blessed you and choice a leader for state, and let us central scheme should be implemented here. And there is a no awareness of central scheme. Many schemes they are not getting here. So I request the government, Meghalaya, let us, we have to unite it and we have to collaboration, state and central, and we can do many things for the people. The state will give a proposal to the central, and we are ready to for development for Meghalaya. And that's why I came here. There is many things to do in our ministry, in minority ministry.
All right, shifting focus now. India observed the International Yoga Day today, along with the rest of the globe, celebrating the traditions and legacy of yoga. This year's International Yoga Day was observed under the theme Yoga for Humanity. Prime Minister Narendra Modi led the nation in observing International Yoga Day in a grand event at Mysuru Palace, which was also attended by Karnataka Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai and Union Ayush Minister Sarbananda Sonwal, among others. The Prime Minister, along with the rest of the gathering, participated in some yoga exercise to mark the occasion. While sporting an Assamese gamusa, Prime Minister Modi took part in the yoga exercise at the venue, along with the rest of the crowd. Addressing the event, Prime Minister Narendra Modi talked of the importance of yoga in people's daily lives. But he further said that yoga is an instrument to bring peace to the society and also makes people conscious.
उष्ट्रासन का अभ्यास करेंगे। अर्ध उष्ट्रासन, अपने घुटनों पर खड़े हो जाइए, ಎರಡೂ ಮೊಳಕಾಲುಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಂತುಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಬಾಯಿ ಹಾತ್ दाएं पंजे के पास रखिए, ಎಡಗೈಯನ್ನ ಬಲಪಾದದ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿಡಿ और थोड़ा। अब श्वास भरते हुए दंडासन में वापस आइए, ಉಸಿರನ್ನ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತಾ ಯಥಾಸ್ಥಿತಿಗೆ ಬನ್ನಿ। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। मकरासन का अभ्यास करेंगे। हथेलियों को सीने के पास रखिए।
आज योग दिवस के अवसर पर मैं कर्नाटक की सांस्कृतिक राजधानी, अध्यात्म और योग की धरती मैसूरू को प्रणाम करता हूं। मैसूरू जैसे भारत के आध्यात्मिक केंद्रों ने जिस योग ऊर्जा को सदियों से पोषित किया, आज वो योग ऊर्जा विश्व स्वास्थ्य को दिशा दे रही है। आज योग वैश्विक सहयोग का पारस्परिक आधार बन रहा है। आज योग मानव मात्र को निरोग जीवन का विश्वास दे रहा है। हम आज सुबह से देख रहे हैं कि योग की जो तस्वीरें कुछ वर्ष पहले केवल घरों में, आध्यात्मिक केंद्रों में दिखती थी, वो आज विश्व के कोने कोने से आ रही है।
And International Yoga Day celebrations were also observed in Assam. A grand event was held today at Dibrugarh, which was participated by Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma. The event was also attended by Health Minister Keshav Mohanto and Culture Minister Bimal Bora, among others. The event saw Chief Minister Sharma participate in a mass yoga exercise along with a large gathering on the occasion. Addressing the event, the Assam Chief Minister talked about the benefits of yoga and how it can bring in a positive change into the lives of people.
লাহে লাহে ওপৰলৈ নিম আৰু ওপৰলৈ মূৰৰ ওপৰলৈ লৈ যাম, সিধাকৈ ৰাখিম, চাব যাতে আমাৰ দুয়োটা বাউখি আমাৰ দুয়োখন কাণত স্পৰ্শ নকৰে, সিধাকৈ ৰাখিব। এতিয়া লাহেকৈ দুয়োটা কিলাকটি সন্মুখলৈ লৈ যাব।
असम में बाढ़ का संकट से लोग गुजर रहा है, फिर भी इंटरनेशनल योगा डे पूरा सारा असम में ऑब्जर्व हुआ है। डिब्रूगढ़ में इनका सेंट्रल फंक्शन था। 75 आइकॉनिक प्लेस में ये योगा दिवस मनाया गया। मैं असम वासी को धन्यवाद देता हूं और साथ साथ में ये बाढ़ परिस्थिति जल्द ही खत्म हो जाए, सभी लोग सिक्योर रहे, निरापद रहे, इसके लिए मैं प्रार्थना करता हूं।
Well, spreading a message of communal harmony, a madrasa in Lucknow observed International Yoga Day today, where students were seen practicing yoga. Take a look.
कि ऐसा है कि वर्जिश तो इस्लाम में एक अहम हिस्सा माना जाता है और वर्जिश हम लोग भी करते हैं, सुबह बच्चे भी करते हैं और जिस पैमाने पे ये एक कार्यक्रम मनाया गया एक हफ्ते में, इस तरह से तो मदरसों में शायद नहीं हुआ था, वो पहली बार हो रहा है। इसको उन्हीं की बात को आगे बढ़ाता हूँ, कहता हूँ कि इसको किसी मजहब से मत जोड़ें, ये तो एक जिस्मानी कसरत है और इस्लाम का एक अहम हिस्सा है। हमारे हुजूर पाक सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम भी ये कसरत किया करते थे और वर्जिश किया करते थे, तो ये कोई इसमें कोई बुरी बात नहीं है। तो हम तो अपील करते हैं सभी मुस्लिम भाइयों से, मदरसों वालों से कि वो वर्जिश किया करें, ये सेहत के लिए भी, जिस्मानी सेहत के लिए भी और दिमागी सेहत के लिए भी फायदेमंद है।
And International Yoga Day was also observed in Denmark, along with the other parts of the world. So on your screens, these are the visuals from Denmark, where you can see how the people are practicing yoga on the occasion of International Yoga Day.
Excellent. Now we're going to come down to our arms, so let's pick up our
And similar scenes could be witnessed in Italy as well, as a yoga day was observed in Italy, where you can see how colorfully dressed in attires were seen the people who were practicing yoga on the occasion of International Yoga Day.
Namaste, Namaste, Prabhu Shakti Mana Hindu Rashtranga Bhuta, Ime Sadaram Tvam Namamo Vayam. Tvadiyaya Karyaya Bhadragadiyam Shubhamashisham Dehi Tatpurtaye Ajayan Cha Vishwasya Dehi Shishaktim Sushilam Jagatyenam Rambhave Shrutam Chevayam Takakira Margam Swayam Svikratam Nahasugam Karye Samutkarshanam Shreyasasyekamutram Param Sadhanam Nama Viravratam Tadantah Spurattvakshaya Dheyanishta Radantah Prajagartu Tibranisham Vijetri Jana Sampata.
Shifting focus to some other news now, as the inclement weather continues, the frequency of accidents is rising in the Himalayan state of Sikkim. In yet another unfortunate incident, a bolero tumbled off from a road above a petrol pump, hitting a tourist taxi plying along the Gangtok road in Namchi. But Suraj Rai, who was driving the bolero, succumbed to injury, while the taxi driver sustained minor injuries. The bolero was reportedly heading towards Namchi Bazaar from Namchi Public School. Northeast Live has accessed a CCTV footage which captured the fatal mishap. So on your screens is the CCTV footage which is being captured by Northeast Live, and this is what is the scene in Sikkim, where as inclement weather continues, the frequency of accidents is also rising in the Himalayan state of Sikkim. This is yet another unfortunate incident that took place. A bolero tumbled off from a road above a petrol pump, hitting a tourist taxi plying along the Gangtok road in Namchi. Suraj Rai, who was driving the bolero, succumbed to injury, while the taxi driver sustained minor injury. The bolero was reportedly heading towards Namchi Bazaar from the Namchi Public School. Northeast Live has accessed a CCTV footage which captured the fatal mishap. back to the top story of the day. Well, a massive protest erupted in the state capital, Imphal, this afternoon over the ongoing fencing work along the Myanmar border. Well, members and supporters of the United Committee Manipur, or UCM, took to the streets, gathered in front of the Kangla Gate in Imphal. Soon, scuffle broke out between the protesters and police after the demonstrators were stopped from proceeding further. Eventually, police took control of the situation. It may be mentioned here that UCM is alleging that Manipur will cede large portion of land to Myanmar under the current arrangement for fencing of international border. The protesters also chanted slogans demanding both the center and the state government to stop ongoing fencing work that they said is being done at the cost of Manipur's land. The UCM also demanded Union Minister of State for External Affairs Dr. R.K. Ranjan and Chief Minister N. Biren Singh's intervention into the matter. UCM President Joy Chandra Kunthojam alleged that the centre is giving away Manipur land to Myanmar, expressing concerns that a large portion of Manipur will be ceded to Myanmar by the time Border Road Task Force completes the ongoing fencing work. He demanded prompt action from Manipur government. And more news and updates continue on Northeast Live, so stay tuned for more news. Thank you.
Northeast Live, the most viewed news channel in the region. On YouTube, unmatched coverage.
Build your dream at the Assam Royal Global University. Success is not an overnight phenomenon. You need to work hard and go through